Hi, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to show you how I made a miniature accessory for a friend's Pokemon toy. A friend of mine has a bunch of 3D printed toys and they asked me if I would make something to go with their little Psyduck figure. I didn't have a lot of time since I was working on my own projects, but my friend said the piece didn't need to be fancy or anything. I had the idea to make a little swimming pool for the figure, and I happened to have a plastic cap from an orange juice container laying around. The figure was a perfect fit, and the lines on the cap looked like the supports you might see holding up an above-ground swimming pool. I tried spraying the cap with a primer before I started painting, but it's way too cold outside and the spray can clogged. I had anticipated this, so I warmed up the can beforehand, but as soon as I tried spraying, it seized up and stopped working. The paint I'm using for the base coat is a greenish blue, but it was really old, so the paint was very clumpy. It wasn't spreading evenly, so I mixed it with some PVA glue to change the consistency. I don't know why I was using a small brush for this step. I let the paint dry for about an hour and then used a lighter blue color for the second coat. I was trying to make the inside of the cap look like the light blue PVC pool liners. After the second coat of paint dried, I went back to a smaller brush and painted the edges of the cap with white paint. I wasn't planning on being too precise with this step, but it took a very long time to complete. I kept switching between painting the raised edges and painting lines around the top and bottom of the cap. I had to be careful where I held the cap because the paint wasn't dry yet. I accidentally put my thumb on the inside of the cap and had to repaint that part. The cold was causing the paint to dry very slowly, so I used a hairdryer to speed it up. Unfortunately, the paint on the inside of the cap cracked and split, so there are some noticeable lines. I didn't want to give my friend a messy project, so I asked them if they wanted me to start over or pick something else because I wasn't happy with the paint job on this project. My friend said it was okay and that they appreciated that I took the time to make something at all. I let the paint air dry completely before putting the Psyduck figure in the cap to make sure it still fit. The feet were just wide enough to keep the figure held in the bottom of the cap, but I wasn't sure if the figure would float when the water was added. Fortunately, it didn't move, so now I had a little Psyduck in their swimming pool. Thanks for watching my video, and stay tuned for another craft project next week.